Yo, 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 cowabunga, my dudes. Welcome to a new upcycling video. Let's dive right in. I'm trying this new thing where I attempt to make my videos higher quality. So today we're gonna be working with this freaking mound of fabric. It's beautiful, muted purple. I don't know exactly what the term is for this, but this accordion fold in it. I got this fabric from the Goodwill bins near me. So freaking cheap. It's just such a steal. So I want to make a lounge set out of this. I just feel like this fabric is perfect for it. I know what I want to do with the pants, but I don't know what kind of top that I want to go with. So let's get some inspiration from our good friend, Pinterest. So just so you have an idea, for the pants, I want to make like a tight-fitting, high-waisted kind of bell-bottom-ish look. And I have some lounge pants that are stretchy that are like kind of what I want. So I'm gonna be tracing my existing pants for that pattern, just so you have an idea for what I want the bottoms to look like. So as for the top, all right, so you know what? Let's not start with Pinterest. Let's just Google, because that always seems to help me. Let's Google lounge set. You know, I've seen the like oversized long sleeve shirt look everywhere, and I just kind of want to do something a little bit different. Ooh, this is fun. Look at this one. This scares me. I don't know about this, but I like the tie idea. Maybe we should go to Pinterest. Let's go there. So I could do kind of like a tank type of thing, kind of like this one. I don't know. This material is really stretchy, but I feel like when it stretches, it's not gonna look as good as it would loose fitting. Dang it. So maybe I do have to go with like an oversized top of some sort. But hey, maybe we can find a different type of design. I'm really struggling here because they're all the same thing. Look at this. Maybe we can make something like this, where it's like balloon sleeves. It's like a sweatshirt sleeve. It has like a tighter cuff. Okay, all right, this is a lot of good inspo. Let's get drawing. So I'm just using my Fashionary to sketch out some ideas of the top. As you guys know, Fashionaries are my favorite thing. It's so easy to sketch in them very quickly and kind of like get my ideas on paper, which really helps me personally. I highly recommend Fashionaries, I really do. If you're ever interested in getting one, you can always use my code SARAH10 to get 10% off Fashionary's entire website. But here are some of the choices that I have. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I could like mix and match any of these styles. So I just think I need to get inspired by the fabric more. Let's look at it again. Okay, I am not kidding when I say this is a heap of fabric. Oh my gosh, I could not even tell you how many yards this is. So I'll definitely have to make something else from this sometime in the future. Maybe a really beautiful dress. But I really don't know what I want the top to look like. I mean, it's kind of stupid because I should just make it like, you know, the classic lounge set, but I don't know. I always have this desire to like do something a little bit different. I was thinking that I could kind of do like a weird type of like wrap top, have it tie in the front. I don't know. Okay, so here are the pants that I already have and I'm gonna use as the pattern for my new pants. So I'm folding them in half and making sure that I get the crotch seam right here. Very important. So this is what I want the back pieces of my pattern to look like. We'll see if I can actually pull this off. I'm just worried that it's like really stretchy fabric, but we are going places this year. Okay, I'm pushing myself with my sewing and everything's gonna be fine. So as I was cutting out my pants pattern pieces, what I ended up doing was wrapping the fabric kind of like around one of the pant legs, as you can see here, so that I wouldn't have to sew two very long side seams up either of the pant legs. I made sure it was all pinned down and equal and was able to cut out those front and back inseams. And once I had one piece of that, I just laid it down on my fabric and cut out the same piece so that then I had two pant legs. So this fabric may not be like actual like jersey knit stretch fabric, but since it is pretty stretchy, I'm treating it as such, and I'm using 100% polyester thread, which has a good amount of stretch to it, and a ballpoint needle. I think it's size 811, and then I'm using a very slight zigzag stitch to just make sure that it can have some give in the seams. Okay, I'm I'm so glad that I thought of that little hack of not having to do the side seams. I never make pants, so I'm glad that I thought of it because it worked out really nicely. And that is 2 very long seams that I do not have to sew. And I'm gonna sew the front and the back legs together, right sides together, and then we'll work on the waistband. For the waistband, so I first started out with my elastic. I measured it around my waist and made sure that it was going to be a comfortable fit. Then I laid that piece of elastic down on my fabric and cut a very wide piece of my fabric out. I also cut a really long piece of the fabric for a drawstring. This is a bit confusing, but I kind of sandwiched the elastic and that drawstring inside the waistband and then pin the excess kind of on the back of it. So the goal is to kind of stitch all of this together at the same time onto my pants. So that's how I stitched it all onto my pants, and this is how it ended up looking. Okay, so next day I've got the pants all done. I love how they look and feel. And I think I found some inspiration for what I want to do with the top. So as I was rewatching my footage from yesterday, I think I gathered inspiration from all 3 of the designs and like the things that I was seeing on the internet. Okay, what if I did a tight, how do I describe this? What if I did a tight fitting crew neck, long sleeve, basically t-shirt, and it's cropped. So it'll kind of look like, I don't know how to describe this. Okay, like it would be tight through here and then have looser sleeves like this, right? But then around here, I would add some type of like a wrap mechanism. So like I'm thinking really wide strips of the fabric kind of wrapped around a couple times so that I can wrap them around to the back and tie it in like a big cute bow. What do we think? I don't know how I'm gonna pull it off. Like with the wrap part, I don't want there to be like any stitch lines, but let me see if I can think through this design and get it laid out. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I just drew out this design right here. It's like very rough. Okay, don't make fun of me. But I thought that, I think I just had one of those moments where I thought that I had like a pretty original idea, but actually didn't because I had already seen it before. So I just went back to the top that I had looked at yesterday, and it's literally the exact same design. I just think this is so funny right now. Like it's the same thing, except for instead of this hem that it has like at the bottom of the top and like the wrap attaches to that bottom of the hem, it would just be one piece. I'm really losing it because this was only yesterday that I looked at this. Anyway, I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna do this design because I think it'll be super cute, but I'm gonna use this wrap idea because I think it's ingenious. I think it'll work really well, especially with such a stretchy material. All right, let's get to drafting this out. I decided to use this cropped tight fitting long sleeve shirt that I already have to kind of like get my bearings. So I just kind of cut that out around the shoulders and made a drop shoulder there. As you can see, it kind of looks like short sleeves. And then I used that to cut out around the sides. And then I cut a super, super long and wide piece, like I said that I was gonna do for the tie, off of the bottom there, and then folded it in half so that I could make sure I got everything symmetrical, including the tie. So from that, I got 2 symmetrical pieces for the top. And as you can see, the long tie is only on the front piece. And then onto that, I ended up making a tight fitting sleeve, which I thought would look better, and then stitched up all of the side seams there. All right, I tested out one side with like my experiment with the drop shoulder and the sleeve that I did. I did the same type of thing. I folded it in half so that I wouldn't have to do seam here, seam here. I just did the one seam here and then attached it, of course, with the drop shoulder. Can I just say, I always do a drop shoulder because it's like my hack for not knowing how to actually do like an armpit hole. I mean, I can't say I'm like proud about that, but it works every time and I highly recommend. So I've just got the one side done. It's looking good. And the tie, so as you can see, it's just on the front piece. You flip it up and then tie it in the back. I'm really loving that. Okay, so all I need to do is cut out the sleeve for this side and then finish up all the seams, and then I'll show you how it looks. Okay, this was super fun to make. I mean, classic me, I just like jump into it, but luckily it worked out. I'm telling you, drop shoulders every time for the win. It's just so much easier than trying to figure out. Okay, I promise that I will figure out how to do more technical things. We'll just say that in the future. I really do want to learn how to work with patterns and stuff. But honestly, this was so fun to just like do whatever with a lounge set, you know, with this stretchy fabric that can just like work most ways on your body. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. It was super fun to make, and leave me suggestions for what I should make out of the rest of this fabric. There was so much of it left. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.